Well, this is quite the unboxing video. You're looking at footage from Mexico's Congress last Tuesday, which just held its first public congressional hearing on unidentified flying objects, aka unidentified anomalous phenomena, aka unidentified aerial phenomena. You know, those mysterious things in the air where we can't tell if it's a space alien or a Chinese spy craft, or a hoax about a missing kid in a giant silver balloon, who was never in the balloon in the first place. He was in his attic, and eventually on the Today Show where he threw up on himself. Anyway, back in Mexico, a self-described UFOologist claimed under oath that our fossilized friends here are 1,000-year-old aliens discovered in Peru near the mysterious Nazca Lines. He maintains these dead little mummies with three-fingered hands, frail bodies, and heads that resemble 1950s television sets are the queen of all evidence, and that X-rays, DNA analysis, and other tests were carried out to reveal these bodies are non-human. Oh, and he said there are eggs inside of them, in case you're hungry. Experts, of course, say these claims make no sense before or after breakfast. And back in the 2010s, this very same self-described UFOologist made similar claims about discovering, whoa, mummified three-finger aliens in Nazca, Peru, home of the Nazca Lines. The Associated Press says a prosecutor's report found some bodies like this from 2017 were recently manufactured dolls which had been covered with a mixture of paper and synthetic glue to simulate the presence of skin. And a Snopes analysis of an alleged 2015 alien mummy corpse discovery found the thing was actually an old mummified human kid, which led a paranormal blogger to post an apology to a dead child. But whether or not these little creatures in fine wooden boxes are real extraterrestrials or American Girl dolls slathered in paper mache, the ultimate purpose of this Mexican congressional session was to get to the bottom of these things, not these things. Because governments are starting to share more information with the public about UAPs. For years, Democrats and Republicans have sought to investigate unusual observations made by pilots as a matter of national security. In 2020, the Defense Department released several videos captured by military pilots of mysterious encounters in the sky.
Roger, they're troubleshooting to oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly.
Now, politicians aren't necessarily worried these unexplained objects are little green men observing the Earth so they can colonize skateboard designs. They're concerned these flying objects may be devices created by adversaries to the US, and the issue isn't being taken seriously enough. That's why back in July, Congress held a big hearing about UFOs, during which former Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves, who also spoke at Tuesday's Mexico congressional event, told our government this.
UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses. It is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony.
But the major headlines that came out of this subcommittee meeting pertain to the testimony of this man, retired Major General David Grush, a former military intelligence officer who stepped forward as a whistleblower to claim the government is hiding a massive UFO program from the public.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general.
The Pentagon has denied this whistleblower's claims, but the fact that these hearings are taking place at all are addressing calls for more transparency and exciting the imaginations of the open-minded, like this guy who was interviewed online to attend the hearing.
I mean, there's two big questions in this world. What happens when we die and are we alone? And the Pentagon's talking about one of them right now, so it's interesting as hell.
The veil of mystery surrounding UFOs was also lifted a little bit more on Thursday after NASA released a brand new 33-page report looking into the mysterious phenomena. Here's NASA's administrator.
In June of last year, NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. We did so with a few goals in mind. First, to examine how NASA can use our expertise and instruments to study UAP from a scientific perspective. Second, shift the conversation about UAP from sensationalism to science. And to make sure that whatever we find or whatever we recommend, to make sure that information is shared transparently.
This new NASA report claims that many credible witnesses, often military aviators, have reported seeing objects they did not recognize over U.S. airspace. And while most of these events have since been explained, a small handful cannot be immediately identified as known human-made or natural phenomena. So is the conclusion that yes, ancient three-fingered aliens are zipping Tic Tacs across the jet stream? Not exactly, says NASA's chair of this independent study.
Based on our current findings and methodology, that we find no evidence to suggest that UAP are extraterrestrial in origin. Our focus is on understanding the phenomenon, however, regardless of the source. And previous work from the ARROW has shown that most events are explainable as planes, balloons, drones, weather phenomena, and instrument features.
The top takeaway from the study is that there is a lot more to learn. The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin, but we don't know what these UAP are.
Now, it is worth noting that this research team, including this researcher you're about to hear, only used unclassified data for this study. That is, they weren't using any classified secrets, like the ones the government was keeping at Area 51 in the movie Independence Day.
The reasons that we restricted ourselves, this study, to unclassified data is because we can speak openly about it. And in so doing, we're aiming, again, to alter the discourse from sensationalism to science, as Administrator Nelson beautifully said. NASA personnel, as appropriate, know how to talk to DoD on a classified basis, but the purpose of this study was to tell us what open data we could use in combination with the power of science to move our understanding forward.
NASA's administrator says the agency might start using AI to comb through all of the UFO-related data. And the space agency has even just appointed a new director-level position to head up UAP research. Now, in case you're disappointed that NASA hasn't said, yep, that military radar picked up Marvin the Martian, it's worth pointing out that even NASA's administrator has not ruled out the possible existence of other creatures in the universe.
If you ask me, do I believe there's life in a universe that is so vast that it's hard for me to comprehend how big it is? My personal answer is yes. But I asked some of our scientists. As a matter of fact, the Washington Post editorial board asked us to come down to the question, what is the mathematical probability that there is life out there in the universe? And if you calculate in billions of stars, in billions of galaxies, that there's replicated what I just said, another stony planet. The answer was, what's the likelihood? At least 1 trillion.
Another interesting conclusion the report makes is the need to combat biases and preconceived skepticism that's stopping witnesses from coming forward, as put by this British journalist.
I heard the word stigma mentioned several times, that you want to remove the stigma. Is your message to pilots and other people that this is no longer the preserve of cranks and that you won't be laughed at and that you will take them seriously? Is that the takeaway?
That is exactly the message. I mean, at NASA, we're scientists. We love data.
Earlier this month, the Department of Defense launched a new one-stop-shop website filled with publicly available info on UAPs, like all these crazy declassified videos you're seeing right now. And coming soon, you'll be able to submit your own UAP reports to the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. The very catchy name of this place. But in case you just can't wait to tell people what you may have seen, you can file a report right now with the National UFO Reporting Center. Please note that if you're thinking of submitting a hoax or joke report, save yourself the time and trouble because it'll be ignored and immediately discarded. But I swear I'm telling the truth. This is the News Refresh. Thank you for watching this video. We put out new ones every single day. Like us and subscribe to our channel here on the YouTube website, youtube.com. Bye.